Everybody, welcome to another episode of The Cynical Marketers, episode 81, season 2, episode 29 in our second season. Rolling right along. We've got some drama, internet drama to talk about today. It's fun stuff. Yeah, internet drama, but it applies to small businesses. It is in the e-commerce community. It's in the BookTok, or, the book community.
You don't want to
not a foundness. Believe it or not, this wasn't something that I was aware of happening. I'm not really in the audience.
Mike is secretly a book talker.
I read nonstop. I don't read I don't read rom-coms or romance novels what the young women are calling them now. These are romance novels, right? But they're not really. It's
they're smut novels.
Yeah. I know that's what's popular. So I'm hip. Yeah. I know what's going on.
You know BookTok.
I keep up with
This is actually
trends.
such an interesting story, though.
Yeah, so what's happening?
This is so interesting to me. So a company called Ali Rose, which transparently I've never heard of these people before, right? Has trademarked a phrase, just announced a couple of days ago that they have trademarked a phrase, hot girls read. Right. And they have a trademark now approved for this. They posted about this and said, this is a celebratory post, of course, but I also want to very gently with peace and love say that I officially have the trademark for hot girls read in the following categories: bookmarks, stickers, notebook covers, book covers, notepads, sweatshirts, t-shirts, and hooded sweatshirts. And so she said, I've seen hot girls read on lots of items from other businesses that follow me. Or if that is you, please remove these listings from your site as soon as possible with love. Girl, what? This is insanity. The thing is, Mike, hot girls read is such a common phrase. And for those of you guys that may not know, hi, Lance. Although, Lance, you have daughters, so you might know.
Maybe.
This is a big thing across Etsy and TikTok, and there's creators out there who do different variations of hot girls read fiction, hot girls read blah, blah, whatever it is. There's a lot of merch. There are bookmarks. There are groups called hot girls read. So this is really pissed off a lot of people because she has gone and trademarked a phrase that is very commonly used in the reader community, and that a lot of small businesses, primarily women-owned businesses and women of color-owned businesses, use to promote their stores. That's part of their inventory. It's why she posted on her stories, if you have merch, please remove it.
Yeah.
But is that enough? Mike, you know more about trademarks than I do. So is that enough to just say, hey, please remove your merch?
Well, I mean, she put out that notice, but trademark is such a pain. I've done several with brands and stuff. Yeah. So the problem is you have to defend it. Looking through this, and then Nada sent this over this morning, so I was looking through it all. And what I find interesting about this is it's an Etsy thing, right? So it's not like anything being sold on Etsy is original. Most people are stealing stuff there anyway. But yeah, trademark, you're going to have to defend it. So you have to go find everybody who's not. And when you stop defending it, you lose it. I am honestly surprised that this was approved as a trademark.
Me too.
Because like I said, I've done a few. And one of the things that you have to do in that process is prove that this was you who started this, you use it. There's another one you can apply for that says you plan to use it. So there's two paths you go down in trademarking. This is my trademark. I've done it. I am doing business with it. I sell things. This is unique to me. Or I plan to. The I plan to one's kind of a challenging one, I think. I haven't done that one, so I don't know that whole process. But normally you got to prove that it's like this was you, and it's not just a ubiquitous term that's out there that you're just trying to take over and monetize. LeBron James did this a few years ago. LeBron James tried to trademark Taco Tuesday, that phrase.
Right.
And he was denied. It was kind of everywhere. And at the time, there was another brand who actually did have the trademark, because you have to go back and check Does anyone actually own a trademark for this? So Taco John had trademarked
Yeah,
that
yeah.
years ago, like in the late 70s. So it's a mess. And I was looking into this. I guess trademark stuff has exploded in recent years with Etsy and all of this
Mhm.
stuff because people are kind of trying to trademark squat. And they're looking for what they think are popular phrases that might be the next thing to pop off. And they're pre-trademarking things. So there's been an explosion at the trademark office of applications for these. So maybe that's why this snuck through. I don't know. I'm surprised that it did because I do feel that in my brief looking around and not being an attorney, like, wow, it does seem to
Right.
kind of be everywhere. And I don't think you shared another image of something from Twitter or X
Mhm.
where somebody had done research and found, because she claims she started using it in 2021, which is
Right,
when her
something like
business was
that, yeah.
founded. But
Yeah,
people went on Twitter and found uses prior to that where other people
yeah.
were saying it. So like, I
It's
don't know.
just
I think it's a mess.
I think that this is so problematic on so many
Yeah.
levels for me because here is the thing. Like you said, Mike, Etsy and TikTok, we've talked about this in a context of TikTok shop. There's very little licensure monitoring of things,
Hmm.
right? People are using variations of different popular phrases, like BookTok has become a thing. People are putting that on their merch. These are very small businesses. I think we talked about something similar here in regards to like the Luke Combs and then the woman who was selling t-shirts,
Oh
like a
yeah, yeah,
fan
yeah. I
that
remember
was
that.
selling t-shirts. Here's the thing for this for me. She went and trademarked this and then kind of boasted about it, completely dismissing that the people that are supporting her business are also other business owners. Because this is the thing about this like Etsy small business community of crafters and business women, right? Who are these are not huge businesses, Mike. None of these
Right.
businesses are making millions and millions of dollars,
Yeah.
right? These are women who do things because they're passionate about it to some extent. And it's a fun way creatively for different artists to express themselves and create different stickers with hot girl reads, hot girls read and whatever other
Yeah.
phrases, right? So what she has done is she's essentially, from what I can tell, I look again, I haven't heard of her prior to this, alienated everybody that supported her and prompted her business up, right? So on the internet, because the internet will internet, we always talk about this. People are calling her everything from colonizer to like
Hmm.
a mean girl. They're saying like, of course you're turning, because she turned off all comments.
Oh
You can't
yeah, that's a good
comment
sign.
on anything anymore. So they said, if you have to turn comments off, you're in the wrong. Girl, you started reading 3 years ago and now you think you're CEO of reading. So they're dragging her everywhere,
That's a good.
right?
That's a good one.
Like, yeah. And so, and then people are now, so what's now actively happening, Mike, too, is there's other creators who use this phrase, who sell the merch, who themselves own the merch, are wearing the merch, their own things, are saying, well, we're going to challenge this.
Yeah.
Right? Like they're out there going like, we're going to challenge this. And you've potentially just buried your business because you wanted to be greedy. For what reason? Like it doesn't, to me, that doesn't make sense. Like you clearly have a successful enough business to think that this is something that you should go and do, but you're alienating. This is a very interesting community. And I think any niche community like this, right? Like if you piss those people off, you may as well just shut your doors now.
Yeah.
Like I think
Hmm.
she was so greedy, and it's such a capitalist mindset, and that's a whole separate issue, right? But she was so greedy to go and do this because she was like, "Oh, if you own this merch, you can go ahead and remove your listings." No, screw you, I'm not removing anything. Come after me. Come
Yeah.
send me a cease and desist. Come after me in court, right? Like you don't have the funds to do that. If you did, you wouldn't be posting on Instagram, remove your listings,
Yeah.
because that's
Such a
not a
pain.
formal announcement on anything. I don't know who is behind this business, by the way. I don't know who Ali Rose is, if that's the person or that's just the company name, but like they can go after themselves. I honestly think this is like the worst. This is a way to bury your business because you're too greedy.
Yeah.
Because you can't let other people have variations of what you do.
Yeah.
You know, it's crazy to me. Like
And
crazy.
it's obviously popular in this community, and then you try to trademark something. It isn't as if you started it and you're the one who started this community,
Right.
right? This book community has just been an eclectic group of people coming together over time anyway. It's not like you started this or they're coalescing around a celebrity figure or something, right? It's not like it's a Taylor Swift fan group coming together, right? It's just book fans of reading coming together, and you're going to trademark something. I think crazy.
But these are also
I'm wondering, does she have an attorney? My question always is, did you have an attorney?
Like, we're the adults in the room.
Yeah.
This is another thing though, too, Mike. Like this is a small business that has made such a horrendous decision because what they've done is they've pissed off people that support small businesses, right? This community of people that goes and buys bookmarks on Etsy, that goes and buys from other small business creators and artists who are doing merch or whatever. These are not the same people by majority, I would assume, right? I don't know this for a fact, that are the same supporters of Amazon and Target and buy books from, Amazon and things like that. Like these, I know I go directly to where the author tells me to buy the book, and even then, if I have a choice between, a small bookstore, I will wait to get something delivered in a small bookstore that's here, like Anderson's or although Anderson's, I guess, isn't all that small, but I would rather buy from them than Barnes and Nobles or Amazon. Like I am conscious of that because that's the space I've been living in for the last like 25 years. So are other people who are so passionate about these bookstores and these small businesses with bookmarks and different things, right? Like the book joint that I went to in the city that one time when one of my favorite authors was doing, a reading there, like I've been following them, supporting them, like, I love their merch, like things like that, and you guys have seen me wear, like some of their hoodies and stuff on the podcast. I would rather go there and buy something from them or go to another, a small book, like the bookstore in Glen Ellen or wherever, than buy from Amazon. This is the audience you've pissed off.
Yeah.
These are the people that you've just pulled on the biggest capitalist move you can pull on. And that's exactly what this community hates, right? Like you just behaved like a giant corporation, taking away from small businesses and small women-owned businesses, like, what do you do at this point? Like, I think she just screwed herself. I think she did.
Once you turn comments off,
very lengthy rant, but
you're in trouble.
I feel some type of way about this, as y'all can tell.
I don't, PR wise, my recommendation would just be to ride it out.
Yeah.
And see what happens. I'm not sure why they made the decision to do this. So I would love to know that calculation. Like, why did you do this? Who actually pushed this forward? Did you have an attorney? And I don't like attorneys. Don't get me wrong. I'm like every other normal human who doesn't like lawyers, but sometimes they, especially on the marketing side, but sometimes that's what an attorney will do for you here is they're like, I don't think that's a good idea.
Yeah.
They always kill ideas, but you need somebody to push back sometimes. And that's what an attorney does is like, they're your devil's advocate. Like, here's the things that could happen to you possibly, if you like, I'm not going to tell you can't, but here's what could happen.
Right.
It was a weird calculation. So I'm curious as to why, like, how much more money did you think you stand to make from this? Did you feel like it would have a negative reaction? Were you not thinking? So then do you not know the audience and their feelings on things?
I think it clearly shows she doesn't know the audience.
I mean, there's a lot of things that show up here from a business decision standpoint that you're like, I'm not sure who, what was your metrics here to make this decision on? And overall, it doesn't make sense. And then when you see the reaction like this, that happens that quickly and with this level of passion, I'm
Oh yeah, and now people that
how did you
never even knew
misread this
this
so hard?
business. Yeah. Like, and now people that never even knew this business, Mike, like myself or you, right?
Yeah.
There's people now that are interested in this who never would have known anything about this had this not gone viral because she pissed off other business owners. Right? So like you've just like you literally just stepped on other small businesses who share the same audience as you do. So how do you think this is going to shake out for you? What did you think was going to happen?
I
That
don't
all
know.
these Etsy creators, all these TikTok shop creators, all these women and all these artists and all these business owners that have this type of merch are just going to be like, "Oh yeah, I guess I'm just out all this inventory now." Because
No.
what's happening also is like people are now actively going to other places seeking out Hot Girls Read and buying from those stores.
Right.
So like you've
And
inadvertently just send everybody to your competition essentially.
she's going to have to play a game of whack-a-mole now to go find all these Etsy stores. And then as they
Right.
pop up, because even though this seems hot and that everybody knows about it, I would imagine a small percentage of the community is even aware that this is a thing. So now new
Right.
stores are going to pop up regularly of somebody putting out my new Hot Girls Read sweatshirt designs who had no idea.
Who checks these trademarks
I don't know.
either? Like
Nobody
nobody
does.
checks
Nobody
when
on
you put
Etsy
words
does. I
on a
mean,
t-shirt,
certainly not on Etsy. Yeah.
Right.
So, but to defend your trademark, you have to go and tell everyone using it. You've got to go find it. You have to actively pursue the defense of your trademark or you lose it.
Yeah.
You don't just get to keep it. You actually actively have to defend it. So that's when people send those cease and desist letters that nobody likes as that's the big corporate thing. Your lawyers are going to send those things out. You're going to have to play that whack-a-mole game.
And you're going to have to pay
I would
for
imagine
all
you're
of
going to
those
get tired
letters
of
to
that
go
game pretty
out.
quickly.
Yeah.
Or you're going to be hiring somebody whose only job is that, because the big companies do have teams of people whose only job is that stuff.
Yeah.
Well,
that's what oh gosh, I can't place it right now, Mike, but that's what somebody else just said. An artist that I can't remember what it was about. Sorry, this is terrible, but like he said in an interview, I have somebody whose only job is to go after people. I think it may have been actually Alex Hormozy for the sales of like replicas of his books.
Right.
Like when people like download his stuff and change it and sell the same thing. I think it was either him or Ty Lopez, one of those guys, who said, like, I have somebody whose entire job is this.
Right.
Right.
And somebody who's big enough with enough revenue to have that kind of money to pay somebody full time.
Right.
I don't think that this lady does have that. Looking at her business.
I can't imagine.
I don't think so.
I think two things for me from a small business perspective, Mike. Like if you're a small business that's thinking about doing what she did, take this as a warning. Consider what you're doing. You better have a hell of a case to say that you came up with this, that this is yours. This isn't like Paris Hilton trademarking, like that's, that's hot or whatever was her thing, right? Like that's not it. You're not a personality. Nobody know, you know what I mean? Like nobody's associating this thing with your brand. A lot of us didn't even know who the heck you were to begin with. So if you do this, consider who your customer is. Consider who you are actively going to be upsetting and what effect that may have on your business. But if you're on a flip side, a small business who has merch with this phrase, leave it be. Let her come after you. Nothing is going to, the first thing she has to do is send you a cease and desist, and then you have time to respond. Right? So until that happens, you don't have to listen to an Instagram post. An Instagram post isn't a legal obligation for you to do anything with your merch, And so I am just dumbfounded that this is like for small businesses, that this is potentially impacting. Not legal advice, obviously.
What are you going to do next? Is it even enough? So you're going to get mad. So what if, so you send a cease and desist to this small business and they keep going.
Right.
And I ignore it. Right. Now, what's your next step?
Right.
I got to take you to court. Now you got to get lawyers. Do you know, anyone know how much lawyers cost for this? I've been in court cases. You want to take somebody to court?
There's a lot of bookmarks and t-shirts you got to sell for a lawyer.
It's a lot of money.
Lawyer.
Are you sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Small claims court, Fine. Take them to small claims court. Get a judgment even. Then what? What are you going to do with that judgment? How are you enforcing that judgment?
Right.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Because that person you're probably suing doesn't have any money.
Yeah.
So get a judgment. Great. I don't know. Go enforce it now. Collect on it. What did it do for you? It's time, headache, it's effort. Small claims, you can't have an attorney, but are you going to get one? $400 an hour, $450. We're in the Chicago area, $400 $400 an hour for an attorney, minimum of $10,000 if you want to do a lawsuit, minimum. And I think that's on the cheap end. And then years in court, none of that gets resolved quickly. What are you going to do? Do you think about that? Is it worth that? Was this trademark worth that? It can't be. There's no way.
And alienating like your whole audience.
Yeah.
Like now you have all of the internet talking about you in the worst possible way. And so like, well, this doesn't impact big companies like this, right? Like, I mean, we've known of like Taylor Swift has trademarked phrases and, from her songs and things like that are pretty common too, that has like caused some people to go like, what the heck is this? But you don't have, like, to your point, Mike, you don't have Taylor Swift money, right? Like you don't have big corporation money. What are you doing? Why was this? What percentage of your business do you think was going someplace else because people were looking for hot girls read merch?
Right.
What percentage of that business did you think you were losing because people were buying things on Etsy? There are NFL knockoffs on Etsy, and NFL doesn't bother because they're like, whatever, we don't care. Sell your 3 NFL t-shirts. Like, what were you thinking to piss off everybody and just come off looking like a raging, I don't even know.
Well,
like I know.
People make bad business decisions. I don't think this was a good one. I don't think this was thought out. I think it's crazy.
I am not.
You made your community so angry that you apparently thought that you were the leader of.
And you're not.
For some reason, and obviously you're not. So this is the cautionary tale. Again, your small businesses, are you thinking everything through, all of your decisions? And again, people think we're so small. What are the chances of us making a decision that makes us famous all of a sudden?
Yeah, there you go.
Here you go. Here's another one. We've talked about these kinds of situations many times. Yeah. And again, I know this is one business in a niche community that most people aren't aware of, but it doesn't take much. And in your small business community, there can be plenty of scandals that are never widely enough known, right? Right. There are small town scandals that like small towns know of that no one else knows. But if you ask people, right, like that's enough to ruin your business. Right. If you're in a small town and you do something that upsets the community, not everyone in the country is going to know about it, but your business is still being hurt. So you got to think things through as a business owner. You really, a lot of people don't. You're only thinking of the upside. How much can we make from this? And you don't ever ask the question, what could we lose if we do this? What are the negatives that could happen? People don't often think of that. They're only thinking of always the upsides.
Ooh, look, we've got this cool trademark.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Now all the money's coming to us for this thing. And it's still not going to, because still people are going to violate the trademark. You got to go defend it, blah, blah, blah. Right. Like, okay. You just bought yourself a job is what now.
Yeah. And it's interesting too, because she was selling things that were, she was selling bookmarks that had names of like other people, like other artists. Like she had an
she was selling trademark stuff.
She was selling, she was naming her products. None of those are on the website anymore. She took them down. But because the internets, there are screenshots everywhere, right? So you literally and you know what, Mike, like you said, like this will probably blow over. Not many people will like know or care. But those that do care, now you've lost that audience. Now you have every other small business out there trying to challenge your trademark, right? What are you gaining out of this? How many more hoodies and bookmarks and notebooks are you going to sell to make this thing worth it. And by the way, the amount of things that you have to do now to bury the content that comes up when your business gets Googled is going to be crazy. Like you
Right.
just created so much more work, because if you just type in Ali Rose, that's the first thing that's going to come up.
Yep.
It's all this stuff about the trademark. There's now videos, there's now articles, there's news articles, Substack, all of these things. It's crazy.
This is, again, so an attorney, a consultant, somebody else outside of your business who is not they're a dispassionate third party.
Right.
To ask them, like, this is why bigger businesses hire consultants like us, because I can come in, you come in, we're looking at situations where we're not directly connected to the decision. So we don't have any feeling.
Emotionally, we'll just we don't have an emotional attachment to it.
Good luck. Yeah. Good decision, bad decision, or here's what I think could happen. It's hard when you're inside to see all of those things sometimes. That's why consultants and an attorney gets hired, I know when I've worked with attorneys, I hate that dispassionate thing. It made me so angry in one of my cases that, I had an attorney who was like, well, I just had lunch with opposing counsel today. I'm like, oh, did you?
You're like,
how was lunch?
What?
Because I paid for that. You're billing me. I know. Like, oh, I'm so angry.
Yeah. But the thing is, Mike, you need that, right? Like that's what we call the adults in the room.
Now that I'm not in that mindset, you can look back and be like, okay, I get it now. But
you're like, I get it now, right? Like that needed to be done.
I was raging.
But it's so frustrating to me that like she didn't think this through, obviously, right? So it's just so bad. I don't know. Like it just doesn't sit well with me at all.
Most small businesses, I think, is their big problem is they don't think through decisions like this.
Yeah.
It's all done on a whim and this will be fun. This is a good idea.
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people do that until you get burned. That's another value too of consultants. Because I have been burned many, many times. So I bring that experience in where I'm telling somebody like, here's the problem if you do that. Here's what could happen and why you don't want that.
Why you don't want that to happen.
Yeah.
Nope. Yeah.
Somebody else paid for my pain and that level of experience, right? So and that's some of the value, but nobody wants to do it. And one of the biggest mistakes that I have ever made, the biggest business mistake I ever made was doing something myself without consulting an attorney because I didn't want to spend on the attorney. And I thought things were going to be fine. I didn't think bad things could happen because we're entering into an agreement with another group of folks who are good people to like, well, this is all going to be fine. Like, what's the worry? What do we need an attorney for? We can all come together and agree on this and be fine.
You find out real quick
then I found
what
out.
the need for the attorney is.
I found out I was wrong and I should have had an attorney from the jump and I didn't. And I won't ever make that mistake again. 7 years later, I'm still paying for that mistake. So I get reminded every month.
You're like every damn month. Yep. But that's, as a small business, like think things through.
Yeah.
Before you jump to a decision like this, consider the ramifications of it. Like just because you think it's so great to own a trademark for something, like consider what you're doing out there and genuinely consider like if that, the shitstorm, pardon my language, that you're going to create, is it worth maybe the marginal up in sales that you're going to get? To me, it just doesn't make sense. It's, I just don't get it. It's a fight not worth fighting.
Yep.
And then if you're a small business that gets impacted by this because you carry this merch, leave well enough alone. Let her come after you.
Yeah.
It's not the end all be all that she is making it sound to be like. You don't have to remove your merch. There's still a challenge period to this trademark and we'll see what happens. But, it's just a horrible business decision, in my opinion.
I would do something now instead of hot girls read. I would like pretty girls read. I would do a variation.
Right.
Do some kind of, start doing variations on that phrase then, you know?
You know? Yeah.
Why not? Let's put out an Ugly Girls Read 2 thing.
Right. I mean, we may as well.
Mhm.
Because but that's the thing, or like do a play on something else that she's done and just like now you've created an army of people who hate you
Yeah.
and hate your business and are going to actively try to get your business shut down. Like that's what you've just done. Like, and I like, you know, like I said, people are like from a mean girl to a colonizer. Those are the
Yeah.
spectrum of things, and just
For
like
a while
dragging
now,
her all
she's
over the
going to release
internet.
some new product and put up some post and try to be all cutesy with everybody. And then she'll end
Right.
up turning comments off because the initial comments are going to be like, you know, F you, you know,
Well,
oh, you
if
got to
you go
trademark
and read
this?
them
Is this
now,
post
they're all
trademarked? You know?
yeah. Like
So,
she's turned them off now, and then the only ones you can comment on, like from the older posts, are like if you had followed her back at the time of that post, you know, it's just you're just, you know, not you know you're wrong when you have to do
when you
that.
have to turn off your comments,
You know, if you were
we advise
so
people not to turn off comments ever
yeah,
because it's
if you
this,
are so set on having to turn your comments off, it means you cannot defend this thing that you
yeah.
just did.
And you
Like,
know you're
you know
wrong.
you're in the wrong, and you can't play the victim either. You
Hmm.
know, like this is the and you know, now she's getting dragged and there's assumptions about her and like all like I mean, there's a lot of like ugly stuff everywhere, but there's also like stuff that's just making fun of her stupidity for this, you
Right.
know?
Well, because
Like,
she's trying to go silent, and then what is ending up happening, the internet will fill in the blank.
right,
If you leave a void, then
right.
they'll fill it in and they'll start telling
Yeah,
your story. And
yeah.
PR people would tell her, and I think I'd said, like, I'd probably just let it ride it out because you're not
Right.
going to win an argument right now.
No, you screwed up.
So all
There's
you're
no
doing
winning
if
this.
you try and go and fight on anything is just you're extending the news cycle on
Yeah,
this. If you try to go defend yourself. So if you go quiet, wait and
yeah,
see, but sometimes your audience is passionate enough that that fire is going to burn longer than a
right.
typical internet rage
Yeah,
cycle would.
yeah,
So I don't know. We'll see.
yeah. I don't
All
know.
right.
Interesting
Interesting
stuff.
one. This is interesting. Small business talk, these kind of decisions. It's interesting stuff that people just don't think about. You know,
Yeah,
you only sell
yeah.
5 or 10 sweatshirts a day. You're a small business, and then you make a decision that all of a sudden lands you on everybody's radar.
Everybody that people that like us, like that
Yeah.
didn't even know about this business.
So
So,
it can
you
happen to
know,
you. Be
yeah,
careful out there, buddy. You're a business owner. Be careful.
yeah.
Doesn't help you. So, all right. Well, thank you for tuning
Let
in,
us know what
everybody,
you
to
guys
this
think.
episode. We appreciate it.
Yeah,
Make sure you can find us YouTube, TikTok, Instagram,
yeah.
Shopify. Shopify. We are on Shopify. We're Shopify experts, but
Spotify.
Spotify, I mean, if you want to listen to us in your car,
Yeah,
make sure, please
yeah.
like, share, subscribe.
Subscribe,
We would appreciate it. That is
please.
so helpful. We don't pay
Yep.
for followers or anything, so we're growing
No,
slowly, but it would be nice if,
slowly but surely.
doesn't hurt you to subscribe. So, all right, everybody. Thank you very
Appreciate
much.
you
We will
guys.
see you soon with another episode coming at you. We'll talk to you guys later.